There's a sense of comfort in staying with the routine of making something, posting it, getting likes from people. But times have changed, and to be successful, you have to do the things that most people are not doing. And that tends to be the unglamorous things that you don't get to brag about on Instagram. Hi, this is Kathy from Easy Sunday Club. In our YouTube channel, we make videos on practical business strategies, how-tos, and watercolor tutorials to help designers and artists turn their creative daydreams into reality. Today, I'll be discussing 5 ways to market your products outside Instagram without paying for ads. I'll even include a bonus at the end. These days, it has become increasingly difficult to stand out on social media. Attention is the new currency, and every company wants a piece of our time. It's hard enough to get organic views and engagement, let alone to actually turn those views to actual sales. If you're a creative and just started an Instagram account in the last 2 years, chances are it's really hard to grow. Yes, it's possible and it has been done, but you basically have to be a content machine and live on the platform, bend over backwards for the never-ending algorithm changes or the latest trending format, or have the means to pay for ads. But as artists and creators, we have to be protective of our creative energy and be more mindful of where we expend it. Artists are visual people. Because a lot of us creatives started building our following on Instagram, sometimes we can focus too much on that platform and the vanity metrics that we may be neglecting other areas that can help our business grow in a more sustainable way. But what does more sustainable way mean? Well, I'm not giving away any magic pills in this video. These are not supposed to be easy plug-and-play solutions, nor am I trying to come up with a trendy listicle for inspiration that you can just watch and move on with your day. However, these are ways that have helped me with growing my brand awareness and sales. I encourage you to pick one from the short list, just one to focus on launching and growing for 2 months at a time instead of trying to do everything at once. Most of these will take time and patience to build up, but what I want you to do is plant the seeds now to build a more diversified ways of marketing your work and to decrease your reliance on a single platform. Remember, you are playing the long game and investing in a business that will stand the test of time. This is what I mean by a more sustainable way. Again, if this was easy, everyone would do it. Before I get into our list of 5 ways, please hit that subscribe or like button if you like what you're hearing so far. It's the best way to support what we are doing. The first way to market your product outside of Instagram is Pinterest. Yes, you probably heard of it by now, but what does that mean? Even though Pinterest is more of a search and discovery tool that people use for inspiration, I have definitely gotten sales from there before. What worked for me lately is periodically pinning new content from my website to Pinterest and uploading videos because Pinterest likes new content. They also like videos because every social platform is trying to jump on the video trend. This video of my dragonflies watercolor tutorial has gotten close to 500,000 views on Pinterest just in the last 6 months. Another post of my rainbow trout painting process video has gotten 14,000 views and ultimately led to someone purchasing my original painting. I'm actually getting way more views on Pinterest per month than Instagram without having to live on Pinterest day in and out. The second way to market your product outside of Instagram is by starting with your local community. This includes local gift shops, coffee shops, art galleries, farmers markets, craft fairs, and even virtual shopping directories. The pandemic has forced a lot of shops to shut down permanently. That is a brutal reality. As a result, some of the commercial spaces may soon be leased by new businesses who may be more equipped to weather recessions, and that is the best time to form partnerships with them. Some of my best retail partnerships formed during the shop's first few years of business because they don't have full shelves or are still figuring out what products to carry in their shop. Once the shop is more mature and has an established network of vendors and buyers and agents, it's harder to get your foot in the door. It's definitely possible, but just harder. So, you've been eyeing a local store, but are afraid of making a move. How do you approach the store? What do you need to bring with you? What if you're bothering them? Well, I have a full interview that you can watch here with a coffee and retail shop owner, Misa of Key Coffee. where we get inside the head of a retailer so you don't have to guess. Make sure to check that out here after this video. In the beginning, you want to be experimental and say yes to more of these opportunities. Last year, a local laundromat in a trendy neighborhood asked if I wanted to exhibit my art for their rotating art show. I turned it down because I didn't feel it was the right fit for me at the time, but if I was in year 1 or 2 of my business, I'd definitely give it a try, and I try my best to do as many of these as possible. The next way to market your products is through friends and family, including neighbors, your day job, your mom's church community, alumni networks, etc. The good old word of mouth is still very powerful and especially crucial for new businesses to gain exposure. If 1 out of every 5 of your friends eventually tells someone else about your business, chances are you might see better results over time through that viral growth than placing ads on social media. And I've never shared this before, but many of my acquaintances and friends from previous jobs and schools, even some of my husband's friends and former classmates, have become stronger supporters and patrons of my art than my close friends. So as much as it feels scary and icky at first to tell your friends and family about your art business, you'd be surprised how many people are happy to support your dreams when they see you put in the work. The fourth way to market your products is through email. Yes, email is becoming increasingly competitive like every other marketing tactic on the internet, but simply put, every time I send an email, I make sales. I cannot say that about posting to social media. There is this chicken and egg game where you need traffic to your website to collect emails. So if you don't have traffic, how do you collect emails? Well, this topic of email marketing can be a full-blown course by itself, but I'll share one advice I wish I'd listened to earlier, and that is, it's never too early to start an email list. If 1 person signed up for your email, write to that 1 person. If that 1 person is your mom, tell your mom to ask her coworkers or neighbors to sign up. Every time someone buys something from you, it's an opportunity to add that person to your email list. I challenge you to treat your email list better than you treat your social media following, because these are actually people who want you in their inbox. Chances are you'll see the fruits of your labor over time. This is also why I love having my own Shopify site versus Etsy. My own website is connected to an email service like Klaviyo, so a customer can subscribe to my email list during checkout if they choose, and gives me a chance to further engage with them after a sale. And since a few of you have asked, there are a lot of email service providers out there. The few common ones are MailChimp, Flowdesk, ConvertKit, but what I use and absolutely love for e-commerce businesses is Klaviyo. And you can check out this video above where I recommend 5 must-have apps for your Shopify site. The last way to market your products without Instagram is through other marketplaces. What's a marketplace? This is where goods are sold online like Etsy, Amazon for direct-to-consumer businesses, Faire, Trada, Shopify, Handshake for wholesale, or some of the newer, perhaps more experimental platforms like PopShop Life. I made a video reviewing my experience with Faire wholesale and whether I think Etsy is still a good place to sell your work. I'll link them in the video description below. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that go into detail about each of these platforms, but as I keep emphasizing, pick one to focus on. Don't try to join everything at once because there's no way you can implement growth strategies on multiple new platforms at the same time while still being a creator. And finally, for the bonus round of ways to grow your business, that is to tell your story. I didn't count it as one of the 5 because it's technically not a sales channel, but I'll get a little tactical on how it could actually help since we're all about practical strategies on this YouTube channel. Don't estimate the power of telling your story on the many touch points that your customers have with your business. Companies are vying for our attention, and it's no longer enough to just post pretty pictures. Especially when it comes to selling art products, they're not necessarily solving a specific problem like many other products, so the purchase is often, not always, but often emotionally driven. In a nutshell, how I implement this is I have 1-page bio on my website, a shorter version on my product insert that looks something like this, and a longer version in my welcome series for my new email subscribers. It took me 5 years to get to this level of crafting my story, so expect yours to evolve over time. For the first version, keep it short and sweet, but don't be generic. Include an interesting fact or a crossroad in your life that led you to where you are today. I know this is just scratching the surface, so let me know if you'd like me to go deeper on any of these topics. Also, let me know what your experience is on Instagram and if you feel inspired to grow on another channel after watching this video. Just to wrap up, I think a lot of artists, myself included, launched our creative businesses on Instagram. Despite all the changes we've been through on Instagram, there's a sense of comfort in staying with the routine of making something, posting it, getting likes from people. It's what we're used to doing and how our lizard brains are now wired. But times have changed, and to be successful, you have to do the things that most people are not doing. And that tends to be the unglamorous things that you don't get to brag about on Instagram. Well, that's it for now. And remember, you don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to take the next step. I'll see you in the next video.